What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenna and today I am going to be doing Top 5 Wednesday. If you are unfamiliar with Top 5 Wednesday, it is a Goodreads group that anyone can join and they post topics ahead of time so every Wednesday you can talk about that topic on your channel or on your blog. And today's topic is the top 5 books that I want to read in 2017. So these books are supposed to be the books that have been on your list for a really long time and you're slightly ashamed that you haven't read them yet. So without further ado, let's get into my top 5. So number 5 is The Invasion of the Tearling by Erika Johansson. I read the first book in this trilogy. This is the second book. I read the first book, which is The Queen of the Tearling, last year, and it was probably my favorite book that I read last year. This is an adult high fantasy trilogy and it is absolutely amazing. It really got me back into the world of adult fiction, and it I think it was the first adult high fantasy book that I've ever read besides Lord of the Rings. So yeah, and it was not intimidating at all. It's very political, it's dramatic, it's just action-packed and just plain awesome. The main character, her name is Kelsey, and she is this long-lost queen that eventually learns to come into power and reclaim her kingdom from the evil kingdom next door. So if you are even remotely interested in this, I promise you will not be disappointed if you pick this up. Number 4 is the Chronicles of Narnia series, and I don't have a copy of the series right now, so I'm holding up the DVD of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe because that's all I have right now. But I want to read this entire series next year. I made it a goal to read it this year, but I just haven't. I have read number 1, The Magician's Nephew, and number 2, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and number 3, I can never remember if it's Prince Caspian or The Horse and His Boy. I can never remember. But I've read the first 3 and I would love to finish the series next year. 1, because it's my husband's absolutely favorite series. So Lord of the Rings is to me as Chronicles of Narnia is to Danny, my husband. So I really want to read it for that reason, and also just because it's been on my list forever. And I generally love the story, and come on, it's Aslan. Number 3 is a nonfiction book that I actually don't have with me right now, but it is called Stories from the Stacks by Gina Sheridan. Or excuse me, no, it's called I Work at a Public Library by Gina Sheridan. The subtitle is called Crazy Stories from the Stacks. So I Work at a Public Library, Crazy Stories from the Stacks by Gina Sheridan. I will link it down below for more information, but it is a nonfiction book written by a librarian herself, telling stories of everything that's happened to her throughout her career that is just crazy or just really strange, and I know that it's going to be something that I can relate to, so I cannot wait to read that. Number 2 is a classic book that I am slightly ashamed that I have never read all the way through, because I was supposed to have read this in high school because we were doing the play, but I only got about halfway through before I gave up. I was just not in the mood, there was a lot going on, but I really want to read Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I've never read this all the way through, and I'm going to next year. Again, I was supposed to have read this year because I made it a goal to read it this year. But alas, I did not. Oh well, I will be reading it next year. One of my best friends, her name is Jessica. Hi Jessica, if you're watching this. She loves the story, and I generally love the story. I've seen the Keira Knightley movie about 1 million times and I love it. So I know that I'm going to love it, but I just need to sit down and actually do it. So that was number 2. And number 1 is something that might be shocking to hear, maybe. It is a book that I have never read all the way through again, and I don't know why I haven't read it. I think it's because I've seen the movie 1 million times, so I feel like I don't need to read it, but that is not true. I really need to read this book, and that is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I have read all of the other books, all of them, and I've seen all the movies. I know generally what happens in this book, but I've never read it. I think I've only read maybe the first 50 pages. I really have no idea, but I've never actually read the whole thing. And it's something that I realized a few years ago, and I was like, crap, Jenna, what are you doing? You need to read this because you can't just skip a book in the middle of the Harry Potter series. What is wrong with you? So that is my number one book that I need to read in the year 2017 because it's my favorite movie. I don't have any excuse to not read the book. It's not like I don't want to. I'm gonna stop rambling now. This is my number one book that I want to read next year. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I will link the link down below in the description if you are interested in Top 5 Wednesday. Sam from Thoughts on Tomes does this every single Wednesday, and I always enjoy those videos, so I'm excited to join in this group. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a like or a comment. Subscribe if you would like. I would love to talk about books with you down in the comments, and I will see you in my next video.